Really good. Doing really well. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being on. I know you just finished the show at Twisted Cork, and you gotta be like
Yes.
exhausted by now, worn out, resting your voice. uh, I didn't even know you was gonna do a show today until I seen on my notifications. Like, oh, now I see why she moved it to 8:30. I was like, okay, gives her time to rest her voice a
Right.
bit. But thank you so much for being on the show. Happy to have you on. And before I get into the questions, I like to tell stories on this show, especially artists that I've seen perform in person, or meet in person. First time I met you, or seen you perform for that matter, was a few weeks ago at Cosmic Charlie's. And also
Yes.
on that show was Derek Spencer, Whitney and Ray, and a little bit more. And that was the first time I seen you in person, and had an acoustic set, and it sounded wonderful. I truly enjoy it,
Thank you. Thank you.
and I'll be very very savvy on Instagram. I love to let people know what's out there, and on the Kentucky music scene, especially here in Lexington, because that's most of the shows I go to. I live in Lexington, and
Hmm.
you appreciated the post, and I say, you know what, let me get you on here, and get to know you and your music, and here we are. um,
I appreciate it.
so with that being said, how did you get started into music?
I got my first guitar when I was 14, and I did it, I think, for two reasons. I wanted to get my dad's attention, and I wanted to impress a boy. I don't know. I don't really think I achieved either of those things, but I did kind of fall in love with the idea of just being able to express myself and being able to get the thoughts in my head out.
That's definitely.
And
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was to say, and then I played while I was in high school, got into my 20s, and then I started having kids, and I had a couple of children, and I got really wrapped up in career and motherhood and just life. And I didn't play guitar for probably about 8 years, but I was a pretty avid sing in the car person. I'm the person that when you're stopped at a red light and you look beside you, the person is singing and dancing, acting very foolish in their car. Um, so then last summer, decided to make it a life goal that I wanted to start playing some open mics. And I had never really played in front of people or done anything like that. And so I went to a couple open mics, fell in love with that, really liked the people, the atmosphere, and then started writing songs. And I've just been trying to play out as much as I can since then.
8 years away from the guitar, and you got right back at it doing open mics. Twisted Cork is definitely a good spot for a lot of
Definitely.
acoustic artists, those with acoustic sets for that matter. Big shout out to the Twisted Cork. A very satisfied customer. Um,
Absolutely. It's a great place.
shout out to Mama Sue.
She's the best. Is she not the best? You cannot be around that woman and not smile.
She definitely makes me smile. I'll tell you that much. She makes you feel at home. She's like a mother figure, you know,
She is.
mother away from home,
She
pretty
is.
much. So shout out to Mama Sue. Shout out to everybody at Twisted Cork. And I always go there, and they always show me love, make me feel welcome, make sure that I'm good, So that's very
Yeah.
very caring of them, for how they feel about their customers. So I want to talk about your performance at Cosmic Charlie's.
Yeah.
To be in a show like that with Whitney Ray, a little bit more Derek Spencer. Like, how did it feel for you to be a part of the show with a lot of well-known, established, talented musicians?
to be asked to play was just a great feeling. I've known Whitney and Ray from the Twisted Cork and doing open mics here, and then have become friends. I met more a couple of times at different shows, open mics. A friend of mine who knew that I had started playing music probably last fall. This was before I met a little bit more. A friend of mine was like, there's this man and wife duo out of around Moorhead. They're really good. I think it would be a great open for them. And I was like, oh, who are they? Like, I'm starting to meet people. And they said a little bit more. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'll have to keep my eyes out for them. And then I met them a couple different good humans, just good people to be around. So when the whole thing came about and I was going to be opening for a little bit more, it was real, like, synchronistic. You know, it was like the universe something had been manifested into the universe and it was coming true, sort of thing. So it felt good and it felt right. Like, it had a good energy about it, and it felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. So it was real flattering and just super supportive. Going into it, I'm obviously, like, nervous, and you want to perform well and you want to do well, and especially performing with people that are more established, that have been doing this. You don't want to disappoint. And so everybody was just super supportive and kind, and really helped me feel confident going into it. And once I sat down and started playing, it just felt like home.
You know, those artists out there, very, very good. You know, they've been doing incredible things for the local music scene. And, you know, what I like about that show is that while you get the familiar names, you get a artist like yourself an opportunity to be on the stage and perform. And when I heard your set, it was very cool. It was laid back. It was calm, and you was, you know, compelling. And you are an incredible singer and songwriter. You put a lot of thought into writing these songs, and it shows in the performance with the guitar and everything. And I look forward to seeing more of Miss Mattox. Not just
Thank you.
not just in open mics, but in shows like Cosmic Charlie's down the road. So
Yeah.
so to be under the wham, like with Derek and Whitney and Ray and a little bit more, that's a good group to be around, you know, because they support each other, and they're genuine good people. So you definitely.
They're the kind of people. They're the kind of people that you can ask a question to, and they're going to help you, and they're going to support you, and they're going to do it in a very nurturing, uplifting way, to really help you grow. Like, I got some good feedback from that I was like, wow, I didn't know that, or I didn't realize that, or I've never been in this position, so this is a really great thing for me to learn from this experience.
So, in addition to, you know, the artists that's been mentioned in this interview, who else out there are some of your musical influences? It could be any more local artists out there. It could be mainstream artists. Like, who else out there do you consider as influencers?
It's interesting. I've always listened to a lot of different genres of music, and really, I can appreciate almost any music and find the value in it and enjoy it. Things that I really like, things that click with me, are things that make my body move. Even if it's sad and slow, like if it makes me, I don't know, if it makes me want to move my body, that's when I know, like, okay, this does something to my brain. So I grew up listening to a lot of Bob Dylan and Peter, Paul and Mary, and a lot of 70s music and Allman Brothers, and really grew up with that influence. And then, of course, kind of going into adolescence, I'm going to tell my age, grunge was the thing, and I was kind of that typical teenage girl trying to find your identity and express yourself, and grunge seemed like the way to do that. And then even getting into rap and just liking, like, the flow and um, the I don't even know what to call it. The way it made my body move. Like I appreciated that. Um, and then, every now and then I just like to listen to some pop music and dance around my car. So when I first started doing open mics, I did a lot of folky kind of acoustic covers, Iron and Wine, The Head and the Heart, um, those kind of things. Then I really started doing more pop and rap covers. So I took a couple of Kanye songs and put them into acoustic covers. I love to cover Super Freak by Rick James, not because I think that it's the original is, I don't know, something to be looked up to or idolized, but because I think if you slow it down and you sing it with an acoustic guitar, you really make a statement about women, the over-sexualization of women, and current issues affecting women and what it's like to be a woman in society. So I don't know, those are kind of different things that have moved me and have drawn me to music and that I kind of go to when I'm playing and singing and writing and think about what I want to express.
That's pretty cool. And like you said, it's a lot going on with women. The way they've been these days is it's very unfortunate. And it's 2019, and I feel like, and I'll take it a step further. The woman
Mm-hmm.
soccer team won the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
They have been
Mm-hmm.
getting the word out on soccer, and they actually been successful, winning medals,
Yes.
winning championships. You would think, okay, they win, they should be rewarded more, and yet the men's team gets more money for a team that comes up short time and time again, and the women, they keep winning, they keep competing, and producing. Like, winners should be rewarded, especially that woman's team. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always a grind for women to get the respect and get acknowledged. And you know it's a grind. It's unfortunate. I feel like people's got to be treated better,
Right.
and show some more equality. And I think guys in general need to speak up more, not just let fellow woman do it. Show the woman that you care. Like, hey, we see how the women are going through, and they deserve better or treated better. So
Mm-hmm.
it's something. It's just another fighting battle, I guess. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've been fortunate in working in healthcare. So since the time I was 16, I've worked in healthcare, which is a largely female-dominated field. So when I look at like workplace issues, I've been very fortunate that I haven't had to come face to face with a lot of the issues that women in other fields of work do. And I've been really thankful for that, but I've also been very aware of it and aware of what other people experience. You know, so much of the divisiveness in our society and our culture, between gender, between just everything. A lot of it comes down to the words we use, and I think we've been so programmed to divide in order to get a point across. And so I try to be very conscientious of that and try to, I don't know, just be very inclusive of people. Like, we're all people, and when you boil it down, like, we're all going through the same basic things. We all have the same basic needs. We all have the same basic dreams and desires. It's just, getting people to see that.
yeah, I guess one thing this country is lacking is being on the same page. And
Yes.
I get it. We're not gonna agree on every single thing. That's just people want to see things go one way, and people want to see something else go a certain way. That's just the one thing. And I keep hearing, the saying, have a common ground, but all this
Mm-hmm.
disagreements, and it's like there ain't gonna be no common ground if we don't get on the same page. And
Right.
you know, it is unfortunate what's going on in this country, and something has to be done in order for us to get back on the same on the right track or whatever, or as people like to say, be back on the right side of history, I guess.
Yeah. I've been stuck in these two songs that I'm writing right now
Mm,
that look more at like social issues and the things that we've just been talking about. And I've been stuck for like 2 weeks in these two songs. And that'll happen when you're writing. Um,
mm,
and I find that, I don't know, I think why I've been stuck is because it's so complicated. I don't know, maybe it's as complicated or as simple as you make it, but we have been made to feel like it's very complicated. Maybe it's not really. Um, Most of my other songs are just genuinely based on life experiences. They're where I've been, the things that I've experienced in my life over the last 3 to 4 years, the things that I've learned. And those songs wrote themselves so easily because it was just my life. Um, I always like joke with people and I'm like, do you want to come read my diary? Because I'm going to be playing at Twisted Cork tonight. Because that's basically what it is. You're going to read my diary. And I'm glad to be at a place in life where things are a little calmer and more settled, and I can actually devote some mental energy to thinking about those bigger issues.
very, very true. So before I let you go, what else do you have in store in the next several weeks or months? You got any upcoming shows or anything else out there that your fans need to keep an eye on?
Yeah, my next thing will be August 3rd at the Twisted Cork again at 6. And a couple of other venues that I've been talking to, but we haven't ironed anything out yet. I have a Facebook page, Davika Mattox Music, and I try to keep it pretty updated with any place that I'll be playing and share that, on my personal page too. So for now, August 3rd at the Twisted Cork from 6 to 8, and then a couple other things in the works.
So August the 3rd, you can catch Miss Maddox right back at the Twisted Cork, and go check out their acoustic shows. Support local music, support the local artists, support the local venues, and this woman right here, she has a very bright future, I believe. And all I'm gonna say is, don't wait until she blows up. Go support this woman now while she's doing these shows, continuing her craft, and continue to evolve as an artist. And it was great chatting with you. And I'll definitely do what I can to make it to that Trista Cork show. Because I know Mama Sue be like, where can he go? I'm like,
What?
I will. I'll see you when I'm able to see you. But
Excellent.
so it was great chatting with you. Continued success. Thanks again for being on the show. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
You are too kind, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely. You have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.